Welcome to Local Live NJ. I'm Brian Doliner with Michelle Giordano, and we're joined today with Christina Langdon and Ron Potesky of Mr. Handyman. Hey, Christina and Ron.
Hi, Christina and Ron.
Hey, good morning, Michelle.
Good morning. So I'll lead off by telling a little bit about Christina and Ron's business. It's a local business that is a franchise of Mr. Handyman. It's called Mr. Handyman of South Orange, Westfield, Scotch Plains, and Metuchen, but they also cover our area in Somerset County. It is a home repair and commercial handiwork business where you can, like Uber or like other online apps, log on to their website and request a repair for anything that you need in your house, and they're going to send someone out, someone that works for them that has experience in that sort of repair, and they will do whatever you need. That is a very high level overview, and I will let them talk more about it later, and I will stop talking. But why don't you start, Christina and Ron, by telling us a little about you guys personally, where you live, and why you chose to live there.
Right.
That was a good job, Ryan. You're hired.
Yes. I need a job.
Ron and I, we live in Summit, New Jersey. And I've been in Summit for almost 24 years. And Ron moved here with me just before we got married, probably 3 years ago.
3 years ago, yeah.
And the business is located in Clark, but as you just said, we cover 6 counties in New Jersey, including Somerset.
I raised my kids in Montclair, but fiance at the time brought me to Summit, where she raised her 3 kids. We have 5 kids combined, and her kids were still in high school at the time. So we bought a little bit of a bigger house at the time because we had 5 kids to house, and I love Summit. I've after 3 years, I've grown to feel pretty much at home.
And as we moved into the new house, we hired Mr. Handyman, and we liked Mr. Handyman, and we ended up buying Mr. Handyman franchise. The experience was so good.
Yeah, we both had terrible experiences with Handyman. At my former house, where my kids grew up, was a 100-year-old house. Christina's former house, we both had Handyman experience before we met each other that were just, difficult. They weren't reliable. They didn't do a great job. There was nobody to talk to after the job was done.
No insurance.
No insurance.
No guarantee.
Yeah. So when we left the corporate world, we said, what kind of business? We wanted to own a local business. We knew that, but we had no idea what kind. And as we were looking at different options, the handyman business came up. We have a lot of realtor friends, by the way, who said this is a space where we need reliability, we need good technical skills, and we can't find it very easily. So as we looked around, we found Mr. Handyman, and it fit the bill.
That's great. It's so true. It's such a needed commodity because there just aren't enough people to do the work, and especially the small jobs too. Do you guys do really small jobs?
No job is too small for our technicians.
Okay.
That's really our sweet spot. And we also have a high level of customer service. So we answer your call quickly, and we get to your home as soon as you need us. And we do it through a lot of state-of-the-art technology. So you can connect with us by phone, email, text message, on our website, and we respond right away and get to you as soon as you need us.
It's important to note, though, that even though we like to do small jobs, we do 1-hour jobs, we do 1-day jobs, and will come, and they are carpenters. They can do pretty technically complicated work, but they're also happy to clean your gutter or power wash your deck. We do have different levels of technicians with different expertise, but if you need somebody to do crown molding in your house and it's complicated custom crown molding, we can do that as well. If you need a backsplash in your kitchen or tile in your bath, our guys are really good at complex, and we're great at small and easy.
That's great.
You know what's fascinating, and you mentioned about how you were kind of maybe the most fanatical customer and decided to buy the franchise. Recently, the Basking Ridge franchise of Gymboree came up for sale, and I got as a Gymboree parent, I got an email saying, hey, if you're interested in buying the local franchise, 80% or something over 80% of Gymborees are owned by previous clients or current clients. And it makes sense to me in that context because you've been able to experience what's so amazing about the concept. But normally when you think of franchises, you wouldn't think of kind of that fanatical customer saying, I think this is so great, I want to own it. So, I mean, franchises normally are kind of impersonal. They're not local. You don't know the person that owns it. I mean, how have you managed to communicate your message of being real, being local, and kind of support local business by supporting Mr. Handyman?
Good question.
It is a really good question. I mean, I think we're pretty dogged about trying to get out there and share our message with as many people as we can. But I think it's interesting that, the best experience is really the customer experience, and we don't want a customer for, a job. We want a customer for a lifetime. And that means we really have to stay in touch with them. We really have to, we do a lot of outreach through email and content marketing to make sure that they know what to do in their spring checkup list, and they know when to change their batteries in their fire alarms. What do you think?
Well, and I think Christina, who is leading the customer engagement part of this, has done a fabulous job of taking our guys, the guys who actually are the technicians who do the work, taking the actual jobs and telling stories using various social media platforms to just express the reality of our business, which is it's all about the customer. Customer calls us up. We've had people who call us because they have a bird loose in their house on a Sunday and they just can't get the bird out. And so they call us and we answer the phone 7 days a week. So even if they get our answering service on a Sunday when we're not open technically, we know that because of a text that'll come through that somebody called and it says emergency, and we called them back and we actually went to her house and helped her get
that's so nice.
You know what, we didn't charge. That was just something that she was a customer.
She's a very good customer.
Yeah, she's used us quite a bit. We've had guys go into apartments where the first thing he did was stop and say, there's a gas leak in here. Had nothing to do with the job we were there for. And it's happened a few times where our technicians have said, we need to get out and we need to call the gas company or the fire department because you have a gas leak. And in 2 cases, the customers wrote a note saying, you actually saved my life. Not just, come to do the work and not really paying attention, but our technician went in and potentially at least saved somebody's life. So that's the kind of work
and we
like.
really thought by taking over this business that we could be making a difference and affecting change in people's lives. And it's small some days, but we feel really good about what we're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, we want to leave people's homes better than when we've been invited into them. And we strive to do that every day. And we have an automated part of get through the franchises, this wonderful state-of-the-art technology. So we've got people who call us every day, and when their name pops up, and you see next to their name that they've used us 64 times.
Wow.
Then you know that we're doing something right, And then it's great when you see all the phone calls coming in with people that haven't used you, but that we've been referred to. So every day, there's something going on every day that's kind of fun.
I mean, I in my past life before being a realtor was the CEO of a warehousing business, and we had over 100 employees. And so obviously that I relate to the customer connections that you have and the rewarding feeling that comes along with not only doing a good job, but the personal aspect of knowing who you're helping. Can you talk a little bit about either what's rewarding or challenging about managing your staff and about the other side, the behind the scenes side of the rewarding aspect of being an entrepreneur and a franchise owner?
Sure.
Well, we really felt strongly that we wanted to grow the company and grow with a certain kind of culture. Handyman companies typically don't have health insurance and 401k, and that was a priority for both Ron and I. We felt like if we were going to bring people onto our team, we wanted them to feel that they were a part of the company and they were a part owner, and we felt that was one way to do it. It's also a way in which where we're getting really high caliber technicians to come and work for us. So that was key. And then learning how to do the healthcare and do the payroll and all the things we took for granted when we were in the corporate world, we're actually doing every single day. So the learning curve has been high, and it continues to be pretty high. I mean, we learn something new every single day.
We do. And I would say, Brian, that the learning for me, and I've run relatively large organizations, Christina's run large organizations, and what we realized coming into a small local business is that it's really complicated because we have to do the bookkeeping. We have to do customer response and customer inquiries coming in. We're involved in every part of the business and managing our team and motivating the team. But the level of complexity and hands-on nature of a local business was a surprise to me, for sure. It's a great part of what we're doing, and it's the reason we wanted to get into a local business, but it's also something for people to be, especially people coming from a corporate world where you have all the support. You have legal, you have finance, you've got bookkeeping, exactly. Now we're all of those departments, and it's been a great learning experience, but it's something you really have to be prepared for.
So we're running out of time, but I'll let you leave our watchers, our viewers, with kind of what are the big tips that you have for them to prepare for the spring? What home maintenance checklist items should they be looking for?
Well, I'll start by saying some of the things that we find customers don't pay attention to, and then it creates problems, are just things like cleaning your gutters, which not cleaning your gutters means that buildup will create water overflow, which will get into your house, and that creates mold and so many other issues. All you need to do is twice a year clean your gutters. It's a huge, huge first step. Obviously, changing your smoke alarm batteries, making sure that your heating systems and air conditioning systems are working, filter changes. I mean, they're really simple, but they're really important. And our guys will go up on a ladder and clean your gutters. They'll do small things. I'd also say that for aging customers, the aging at home population, we do a lot of work with kids, with sons and daughters of aging parents. And the kids may live in California, the parents are in Somerset. We love to get the call that, my mom just needs you to check on these things. And we take a lot of pride and joy in sending pictures to the kids, letting them know everything's okay, being a contact for their parents. So I'd say those are a couple things.
Yeah, and we make sure to send the same person every time so they develop a relationship, and that mom who's aging can feel safe. But we also help them stay in place as well with all the grab bars and things that they need to be able to age at home safely. But getting back to the spring checklist, I mean, you also have to take out your storm windows. You need to put in your screens. Screens oftentimes get broken and need to be repaired. Because of winter elements, I mean, there's lots of mold that grows either on your siding or on your decks or patios, and we can help take care of all of that. Oftentimes people need to think about getting their lawnmowers maintained, so now is a good time to think about that. A lot of people, because of the winter months and the cold, the patios or the stoops, the concrete is coming off and needs to be patched. Lots of little things like that. And I bet you could come up with a pretty big list as well, because you're helping people get their homes, right, ready for sale.
That is very true. So I will flash up on the bottom of the screen your website address and phone number so that people can check you out, contact you. They want to know more about the business, or if they want to have some of their to-do lists fixed around the house. And it was a pleasure getting to know the people behind Mr. Handyman and what it really means to support local business and support our community. So thank you so much, Christina and Brian.
Thank you folks very much. Have a great day, and we appreciate the time.
Thanks so much.
Bye-bye.
Everybody.